Thank you, Zubo. Our second lightning speaker is Abigail Mulea. And Abigail is with the Zubo Trust in Zimbabwe, and she's also a fellow of President Obama's Young African Leaders Initiative. And in fact, she was singled out by the president for her commitment in his address to the leaders. But I actually prefer the way Abigail described herself in an interview after the president's address. And this is what she said. I love this. I believe I can make things move. So Abigail, welcome.
Mapona, hello. Thank you so much. Mapona means hello in Tonga, which is my mother tongue. My name is Abigail Mulea. I come from Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, I come from Binga district, and Binga district is located on the northwestern region of the country, bordering Zimbabwe and Zambia. And this is a predominantly fishing district. And then I work for an organization called Zubo Trust, which is a community-based organization. I'm a very proud member of Women Thrive Global Partnership Network. As I stand in front of you today, I'm going to share with you a project that we worked on. The whole idea was to bring men and women together into the fishing industry, which is the major source of livelihood from the district. And the whole point is to prove to you how integrated approaches to development have worked through this project. I remember growing up in my village as a little girl in a predominantly fishing village. I realized that it was only the men that went out to catch fish from the river. And the role of the women was to buy this fish from the men, dry it, and sell it by the riverside. And what this meant automatically was, it was the men who determined the price at which fish was sold, and it was also the men who determined how the income that was earned was spent. As a little girl at that age, I took note of that anomaly, and I grew up to be a big girl. In 2010, I started my professional career with Zubo Trust, and as an organization, we sat down, took note of these gender imbalances, and then we embarked on a project on how to try and correct these imbalances. But we told ourselves that if we are going to achieve our goal, we need to partner with the people involved, the people affected. And in this case, these are the rural women who have been excluded from the fishing zone. So we went down to the villages of these rural women, sat down with them. You know, they were aware that there was a gap, but it was not really making a lot of sense to them up until we sat down and showed them what they were missing all along. But we agreed with the women. We started with 10 of them in 2010. We agreed that this is going to bring about change to the traditions, the norms and values of the community that you are living in. So we should not expect that it's going to be easy. We're going to face a lot of challenges. And in actual fact, as we tried to embark on the exercise, we realized that there were 4 major challenges that we encountered. The nature of the challenges, some of them were cultural in nature, some of them were social, some of them were logistical, some of them were institutional. The cultural challenge that we face is almost similar across all the patriarchal societies in Africa, which, you know, the patriarchal norms and values of a community which will not allow women to go out there and a living and income, and to only domesticate the women to a confined sphere. So I remember this other day we went to this traditional chief in one village where these 10 women are coming from. And we said, we're going to have women getting into a boat and fish alongside men. He said, no, not in my village, not in my community. Because it's a taboo. We can't have women fishing alongside men, because when men go out fishing at night, they don't dress decently. There are no bathrooms. So I can't allow that to happen. And we said with these women, how about if we construct a fishing rig that has got bathrooms, and we buy decent clothing for everyone that's going to be on water. Then he said, if you are going to meet that, it's okay, I'll allow you to do that. So that our problem solved to us. Then on the social aspect, the husbands and male guardians for these women said, it's unacceptable in our community to have a woman going out to work, bring money to the husband and the family. That's the duty of a man. So we realized this was a bit complicated for us, and we decided to partner with a male-owned organization in Zimbabwe called Padare that focuses on women's rights issues, to come and train these men on issues around gender equality and women's rights, and eventually we won the war. And then we went to Ministry of Transport on the logistical challenge now. And they said, fishing, operating a fishing rig is very complicated, and a woman cannot manage to do that because you need to have a lot of energy to lift the net, to operate the engine. And I said, fine, we understand you, but what we'll do is we are going to construct a female-friendly rig, which is not manually operated, but with hydraulically operated, like the one that you're seeing. And then he said, okay, if you do that, we are together. Now we are moving up the ladder. At police level in Zimbabwe, for you to start carpenter fishing, you need to have a carpenter fishing permit. So I remember this other day we went to the District Office of National Parks and Wildlife Management. We walk in and we find that the person in charge of the station is a woman. And this is the person who is responsible for the permits at district level. We were so excited because we said, finally we find a woman in office. But tell you what, the moment we presented our case, she was like, no, there's no special treatment for you. You just have to be treated like any other citizen. We were so discouraged. But it was a big lesson learned to us that, when you're working on women's rights issues, it's not always the case that when you come across another woman, she will understand what you're talking about. So what we did is we decided, let's do our lobbying at another level. So we went at the national office, met with the director, and this time around a man. He gave us the permit because he considered us as a very special group. I mean, at that level to us, we're already doing integrated approach to development because we had all these stakeholders now, the chief, the husbands, the government ministries supporting this project. Before we started on it, we had all the support. And in September 2011, we had the first ever rural women group from Zimbabwe getting into water on a boat, catching carpenter fish at night alongside men. It was a breakthrough. It was really an achievement on the part of the organization and also on part of this community because we did it together. As I speak right today in front of you, we have seen a lot of impact since 2011 from this project. We have seen these women saving the profit that they are making from the fishing industry and sending their children to school, especially the girl child who was left out. They've saved and they've acquired passport. Right now they are doing cross-border trading between South Africa, Zambia, Mozambique. They are buying clothing and running flea markets, as you can see. We have these women also constructing shops. I mean, during the time of men only, they used to get their money and spend it however they wanted to. But these women are serving, and now they are building shops so that they formalize their business. Apart from fishing, they also run other businesses. As if that's not enough, we have these women as advocates for environmental friendly approaches to access to natural resources, which is conservation for the future generation. In Zimbabwe, the recommended net size for carpenter catching is 8 millimeters. But we have men fishing using the 6 millimeter nets, meaning they are also catching the small carpenter, which is supposed to breed, grow. But our women-only group is using the 8 millimeter nets. Now, apart from conservation, even the quality of carpenter that they are catching is of high value on the market, meaning they are getting even more out of what we have invested. I mean, to us, the results that I've mentioned, the impact that the project has brought about, is not just only an aspect of improving someone's livelihood, but it has also transformed many forms of a person's life. Right now, the 10 women that we are working with, they are each at least supporting 12 to 15 other people. So we invested on 10 women, we have at least 150 other people benefiting from that project indirectly. Let's think of scaling up this project. Let's say we have 40 other women that we support from the same project. How many more other lives can we impact on? How many more children can we send to school? How much more infrastructural development can we talk of? It's integrated development to us because we're just targeting it, bringing men and women together, the aspect of livelihood. But in the process, there was education brought along the way. There was the issue of environment management, conservation. There was the aspect of women empowerment. There was the aspect of community development. So I'm posing this to everyone in this house that let's think of such community-led projects, grassroots projects, and see if they cannot bring about meaningful impact.
And that's how it's done. Thank you, Abigail. So please be patient with us as we transition to our panel. We'll have some chairs brought onto the stage, and I'm going to just read out the names of our